Drawing in perspective can be hard, but I'm going to show you how to draw this house without using vanishing points. My name's Kurt, I'm a dad who draws. Come on, let's get to work. The first thing I want to show you is this idea of measurement, okay? So let's just say if you were to draw any rectangle shape, okay, any rectangle shape, just like that, and if you want to find the dead center of that shape, all you have to do is just connect the corners. Oops, missed that corner. There it is. And where those lines cross, that is going to be your dead center of that square. Okay? Now, if we were to draw that square in perspective, it might look something like this. All right? And try any of those, if there's any of those things in perspective, might look something like that. This guy here might look something like this. Okay, and these are just, go ahead, draw these on your page. And I'm just kind of eyeballing these shapes here. You don't have to be perfect. It's really more of an exercise for you to understand this. And you would use the same principle to find the center. You would simply connect the corners, and that would tell you where the perspective center, where the center of that square that's in perspective, okay? Same thing over here. And same thing with this guy here. Okay, so we want to remember that. That's going to help to determine a roof line and things of that sort, okay? Let me bring up a new clean sheet here. So this right here is my wife's recipe box. Okay, there's all the recipes in there, and if I hold the box like this to our picture, you're going to see that this corner, you'll see that this corner is closest to you. This one's further away, and this one back here is further away. So whenever you're going to look at a building, okay, there's more than likely one corner that is going to be closest to you. I want you to remember that, because this usually, when I go to draw a building, I'm looking for the closest corner to me first, and then I draw these other corners. So let's take a look at that idea here. So on our page, just give me a line. Okay, that's easy. We all can do that. And I haven't determined how tall or how the top or the bottom is. Give me another line, and it doesn't matter how close. Just make it about that distance. And then this one, put a line much further away, where it's obvious the distance that it is, okay? And we'll call this A and B and C, okay? So let's just come down here and put a dot. Put a dot on A, and then put a dot down here at the bottom of A, all right? And then from this bottom part, I want you to angle I want you to angle a line up like that, okay? And this top one, I want you to angle it down like this. And I want you to do the same on the other side, just like this. Okay, we're going to call this side X, okay? Side X. So on side X, let's go ahead and do just that. Let's put an X in here. And then draw me a vertical going up. Doesn't matter how tall it is. And then somewhere up here, just give me another dot. Okay, let's look at A here, and let's create a perspective grid, because this is going to help us draw our house when we actually do it, okay? So on A, pick the halfway point. The halfway point right there. You could do that. That's pretty easy. And then down on C, pick a halfway point as well. And all you have to do is connect those. Oops, I got a little sloppy there. Okay. So this is the beginning of a perspective grid. All of these lines ultimately are going to converge on a vanishing point someplace out here. Make another half. All right, we got that half, and let's do another one down here. That is a perspective grid. Now, up here, this little dot is going to be the peak of our roof. So let's get the right perspective line. So let me show you how to do that. On A, you see that distance? Let's try and match that distance right there. Okay? And look down here on C. Do you see that distance? Let's match that as well. Okay, that's a guide. That guide is also going back to that same vanishing point. And now we can go back. Now we can go back to our peak there, and I can just estimate that peak like that. You see? Now we can connect the edge there, and we can connect that back there. And now I can darken in my roof line just a little bit. And the only thing I don't know is where the back over here, where is the back end of my roof? I could roughly take that angle, and it's not quite a parallel line. It's a little bit more exaggerated. It's a little bit more tapered, okay? And I think for the sake of our drawing, you don't have to be completely accurate with that roof. You could guesstimate it. And if you get it close like that, bam, you just drew yourself a lovely house. A picture this size, I always like to start with some type of framework. It seems to be easier, especially when I'm getting my proportion and my measurements down. Let's get this back line back here, this bank, and it's not exactly halfway. It's about this distance here, and I'm just going to kind of casually, very lightly drop in a line there. It looks like this riverbank or this bank on the other side of this lake is big, and then it somehow gets small. A lot of this is happening behind my house. And then we've got the edge of the house, kind of the back of the bank coming in like this. And just keep this very light here, as light as you can, holding your pencil by the back end there. And we've got some clouds. I'm just going to put a slight S-curve here. Another group of clouds coming in here. And something like that. With this corner, and then I'm going to draw this corner, and then I'm going to draw that corner, okay? So I'm going to come up, I'm just kind of going to get, I'm going to get a straight line here. I know it's bigger than what I need, but that's a good starting point. Just draw it lightly. All right, here's the side of the house now, and it's pretty narrow. It's pretty narrow there. And there's roughly the other side. These are like the positions of my dots. Okay, now typically I would just put this all in my mind. I would do this without writing down, but I'm showing you, I like to show you what I'm thinking, okay? That first dot is going to be right about there. And then the second one's going to be right about there. Next dot's going to be about there. And this other one's going to be about. Now look closely. This dot right there is somewhere. If I drew a straight line going across, it's going to be right between those two, the alignment. Okay, so let's kind of take a guess here, and I'm going to come across. I think I'm going to be right about there. Okay. And the same thing with the bottom one as well. We're going to be right about there, I think. Let's go ahead and connect those and connect them lightly. Put a very lightly. Let's draw an X on the right-hand side here. The first thing we're going to do is get the roof lined up here, okay? And I've drawn an X and then a vertical right through the center of that X. And now I'm going to kind of guesstimate how high that roof is. I'm going to go right about there. Hey, it's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. Take a quick second, jump down there and give this video a like. Or better yet, even give me a comment and let me know if you'd like to see more portraits or landscapes. Let's get back to the drawing. Thanks for watching. All right. Okay, so we can kind of guess, look at this here. That's going back to that vanishing point. This is going back to that same vanishing point. And the angle of our roof is also going back there. And I think you could probably just kind of use a guesstimation. Just guess. It's good to make an educated guess when it comes to some of these things. The last line we've got to determine is this one right there. Right? That's what we've got to determine here. So let's just Let's just do something like that maybe. We're gonna jump on. We're gonna do the next. We're gonna do the hardest part now. I want to determine where that point is. That point is where the stairs come in contact with the bottom part of that house. Okay, so let's look at the bottom of our house and just, you know, if this isn't 100% accurate, it's okay, but just kind of give yourself. I'm gonna go right about there on mine. Okay. Now let's bring this. Let's just get a line going back here, extending this, and let's get a line coming back there. Okay. And so at that little mark there, let's just create a nice line that we think will hit those guys as well. They're all going to converge right about there. All right, let's come down over here. Let's make another mark. And this one too, we want to just kind of guesstimate. So it also goes back. So all these marks are going back. Okay, we're going to come back to this dot right there. And we're going to come out just a little bit. And that, we're looking for this guy right there now. And you can already see that, you know, my perspective is slightly different than the picture, and that's okay. I'm gonna continue along this path here, okay? I'm not gonna overthink this too much. Okay, from that little mark right there. Okay, now this, I also want to have this go back to that vanishing point on that side. And yours might look a little bit different, but that's okay. I'm going to look at my picture here. And you see how I am going to outline that square right there, that rectangle. Put a dot there. Okay, so that's essentially the base of my house. Okay, let's erase some lines here. So, well, you know, not yet. Let's do this. Let's build this foundation up. This whole area down below here. All right, so let's kind of figure out where that's at. Is I'm going to come over here to this line right there, and I'm going to start to build a perspective grid. I'm going to go halfway there, and then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go halfway there. And I'm going to connect those two. And I'm going to do it again right here. There's halfway. And then go halfway here. And let's do that to the bottom as well. Okay, go halfway. And halfway, let's draw a line there as well. And I think that's how we're going to use that. We're going to use that line for our foundation, okay? Let's do the same thing on this side over here. So go halfway, and halfway here, and then connect those up, connect that one up, and connect that up. Okay, let's go ahead then and drop a vertical right there. You see that? I'm going to zoom in here just a bit so you can see what I'm going to do here. And then let's drop another vertical like this. Another one. Maybe another one like that. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna come up just a little bit right here, just like this. Come up a little bit. And then following that line, I'm gonna come all the way back here like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna follow this back just a little bit like that. We're doing this all without a ruler here, okay? All right, go straight across there like that. You got that? Let's go up again a little bit. Up on this corner a little bit. And then same thing, connect those. Going back a little bit. Okay. Up. Up. Once you get to this corner right here, I'm going to change that to a red color. Then we're going to go straight up here. And then this back corner here, gotta send this back to that vanishing point as well. Now I'm looking at that corner right there, and this goes back. This one goes back to this vanishing point. But I'm going to go ahead and darken that in. All right, if you made it this far, if you got that far, you got it to the most difficult spot, I think. I'm going to come over here and draw a straight line right like that. I'm going to draw another straight line right there. I'm sort of adjusting my drawing slightly because I don't think I drew my house wide enough. And if you don't have to have two windows, you could have one window and a door if you want, okay? There's some variation that you can do on your own here if you like. Okay, there's where my other window is going to go right there. And you can draw an X if you want to find the center All right, I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. And I'm just going to kind of guess this. Now it looks like he has some, maybe this is a flagpole or something. So we're going to put this, look at that. I'm going to put this here, I think. Okay, and I'm probably, my house, yours might be different, but I'm going to extend mine a little bit above that roof right there. Now I'm going to draw my doorway in. And I'm going to make my, oh, look at that. My doorway is a little bit shorter than those windows. Let's talk about this man that we're going to draw. What? We're going to draw this man? Yeah. He's an easy man. I'll show you how to do it, okay? So let's just over here in the right-hand side, if you're going to draw a man, this guy is pretty simple, so just start off with a square. And then maybe curve that square just a little bit. That's going to be his upper body. Right? And usually in the human figure, generally speaking, if you go from, literally if you go from let me draw this a little bit bigger so you could see. I'll just make a stick man down here. If you go from the top of the head down to his feet, at the halfway point, this is where his legs start. So his whole upper body is in the upper half, and the lower body is in the lower half, okay? If you could just, that's a great thing to try and remember here. So in this little silhouette of this man here, you know, there's his legs, there's his upper body. I'm going to erase our little guy down here. And then his head is, you got to go really small in his head. So let's just say he's wearing a hat. Oops. Yeah, well, let me do this. Oh, there. That's my man right there. You see how I did that? Don't have to do any facial features. You're just going to get some simplistic little silhouette, okay? So let's do that. All right, let's start off with this square. And I'm looking at this gentleman here. Okay, he's just going to be here like this. All right, there's my square. I'll even zoom in just a little bit here. All right, there's his hat, and there's like the side of his head. All right, so now his feet are coming down. I'm going to extend my body just a little bit. And I'm just going to slightly curve the outside there. I'm going to make him just a little bit more wider. And there he is. Okay, let's keep going here. Let's see how much further we can get, all right? We might have to go a little bit over. Let's go halfway. Let's go halfway on this top of that roof line right there. All right, halfway. Let's go halfway on the one below. And let's just connect those two. Okay. Okay, let's get this little roof, this little chimney up on top there. And I'm just going to add a thick line on the right-hand side. All right, let's get a window. Let's, instead of having two windows on the side, Let's just put one. I'm just going to do one here. And then up here, we just won't put any windows at the top, I don't think, tonight. All right. You can if you want, but I think generally we're going to leave it just a little window on the side. Okay. All right, let's come back to this roof here and keep dividing the sections in half. And then divide those in half. Now I'm just going to start using surface lines to kind of describe the corrugated metal up there. All right. All right, I'm going to add some tone now. Watch what I do on this roof here. I'm just going to add a little bit of tone right there. I'm going to leave the white there just a little bit. Do it again here. And then leave that lower corner. So it kind of looks like the ceiling there, you see? I'm going to go ahead and drop a tone in the side of my house here. It looks like there's something leaning up against the house. I don't know what it is, but we can put it in just like this. Of course, this is going to go back toward the vanishing point there. And these are the small details that will give our house a lot of character and interest. I'm just going to run some surface lines there to help pick up the angle. And then let's just drop in a dark cast shadow underneath that. I don't know what that is. That looks like maybe shutters or something. Okay, let's continue on. So it looks like he has this, and now I could just I'm moving in from beyond construction, and I'm kind of going into the detail phase, where I don't need to worry about my construction lines anymore, because there's enough of them to help me determine how the details in this house should look without working them where they go to the different vanishing points and all that stuff. Okay, let's get these wood straps here. All right, the sides here, and I'm just kind of looking at my picture here. And following along here. All right, so now we're getting this nice shadow. We're getting a little bit of a shadow underneath this um, tin roof here. And then here, this is important. You see that dark line or that dark shadow right there? We want to hit that back here. Yeah, just come down and hit that. Okay, right where I put that green dot, we've determined that that is what the value is in the shadow. Okay, so what we want to do then is match that value. So right over here, I'm going to add a shadow. Over here, I'm going to add that same value for the shadow. And there's also some in this little window here. You see that? Ooh, we're going over. I hope you guys don't mind that we're going over. And of course, our steps are also going to be in shadow. And I'm going to darken in the face of them. Now, I have no idea what's going on here. I can't tell. I think that is part of the stairs, but it might be the back end of the house. So we're just going to have to kind of guess. So I'm just going to take a chance, and I'm going to say that opening is in this staircase right there. And now that this is going to have some wood underneath maybe. All right. I think the last bit of detail I want to put on this house is I do want to use some surface lines for my wood. Okay, so I'm just going to keep a lighter line here and not completely fill it up. And it looks like there's a slight opening to this door here. I'm adding just some different tone or texture down in the foundational area of this house just a little bit. I think I'm done with my house. I think I'm going to move on to some of the landscape now. Let's think of surface lines, okay? So I'm going to start with this hill here. I'm just going over this with surface lines, like almost like you were an ant walking across the surface of this ground. Now I can come in here and add some tone to it. And then I can see that this house is casting a shadow. I'm going to leave the rest of the foreground for you to design on yourself. I'm going to get this back bank in there, and we'll get the other one over here as well. And you might be thinking I'm going kind of fast, and that's because I am. It's because I'm kind of tired. So let me, I'm going to drop my clouds in here. All right, I'm going to give those a tone as well. Give these a tone here. Now this is interesting. Before I let you go, look at the value. I do want you to notice the value of the house where it's in shadow compared to the value of the clouds. You see that? It's much darker. Okay, so there's only one solution here, and that's to pump up my blacks here. Pump up my value. There you go, just like that. Okay, another cloud coming in up here. And then one more on this icy cold sunset of a day. And winter's coming. Now I'm just kind of casually getting some nice soft strokes that might reminisce clouds. And I'm going to darken my shadow just a little bit more. Surface lines. And that's going to be it, I think, tonight. Okay, that's about it. Please join our Facebook group The description, the Facebook link is down in the bottom. If you really want to up your game with drawing, we have a great class called the Daily Draw. We get together every single day for about 40 minutes, half an hour to 40 minutes in the morning. And we always look at something that has to do with something. Listen, I really appreciate you all watching. I love having you in the audience. And my name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. And we will see you guys later. Now go out there and make your night great. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
The dad who draws.
Hey, I hope you liked that video. Check out this video of how to draw a house in the desert, or even this one of a water tower in an old western ghost town. All right, go out there, make your day great.